Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. In this series we're going to be looking at some of the top reasons why you are failing to diet effectively. This series is going to be made up of 5 episodes, and in each episode we're going to look at 5 reasons that are contributing to you failing at your diet. I'm going to give you solutions by using my experience to help you move forward with confidence and help you diet successfully. And remember guys, if you do enjoy this video, hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to alert you every time I post a new video every Monday. Today we're going to be looking at 5 of the top reasons that contribute to you falling at the first hurdle when looking to start a new diet. I'm going to give you solutions to all of those reasons to help you get started with ease and confidence in the diet approach that you select. I'm going to look forward to delving into some of the reasons that you may not have even thought about as to why every time you try and diet, it seems like you can never get going. In today's episode, we will be looking at why not committing from the start is going to lead you on the road to failure. Why starting a diet for the wrong reasons is going to cause you no end of problems. We're going to look at not understanding the diet you have chosen, choosing a diet that doesn't fit your lifestyle, and we're also going to explore why past experiences when dieting could be holding you back. Let's get started with reason number 1, and that's not committing from the start. Like with anything in life, if you want to be successful, there needs to be an element of commitment. When you're looking to start a new diet, if that desire to commit yourself to the diet is not there, then it's going to be very hard from the word go. Your path is going to lead you very quickly to feeling like you're completely lost, and you're going to be on that path to nowhere. If you want to get those elements of success, that longevity, the results that you are striving for, that commitment must be there. So how do you find levels of commitment when starting a diet? A lot of you out there will be watching this thinking, I want to diet, I want to get the results, but can I be asked? I don't really know what to do, where to get started. And you're feeling confused by the whole idea of getting started on a new diet. Especially with the pressures of a new year starting, everyone gets that little bug where they feel like they should be doing something, having that direction. But you need to understand why you want to diet in the first place, and that can lead into tons of motivation to get you started with confidence. Once you get started on your diet and you've got a few weeks under your belt and that continues and you start seeing results, commitment can become a little bit easier because you've got that first bit out the way and you're seeing things happen. But what we want to look at today is getting that commitment from the start. So what's the first thing I'm going to recommend you do? Get your calendar, look for a clear 3 to 4 weeks, set your start date, and then start to understand why you're dieting in the first place, what you're looking to achieve, and let that lead you into your path to success. Commit, focus for 3 to 4 weeks, and start seeing those results. Now, when I talk about understanding why you're dieting in the first place, this contributes to reason number 2 as to why you may be failing at your diet. A lot of people start a diet for completely the wrong reasons, and it's very easy to do. You're not alone. It may be that you feel that you should. It might be that someone made a comment and you feel conscious of that. It might have been a comment about your weight, and that could very easily sow the seed to you feeling like you should be dieting. But this has to come from within. You're the one that's going to need to prepare your food, train, get your steps in, drink plenty of water, all of these things that contribute to a successful diet that lasts longer than 2 minutes. It's you that needs to commit to this new lifestyle, not those people that potentially have made comments or the people that you're maybe doing it for instead of yourself. So it might be family members. You might want to do this to be able to set a good example for, say, your children. There's lots of different pressures that surround us, especially nowadays. There's that need to head towards a certain physique that you've seen, that you feel that you should be on your path to. So we've got to come away from starting the diet for completely the wrong reasons. Okay, so let's explore a couple of different things when looking at covering the umbrella of starting a diet for the wrong reasons. So let's look at A, starting a diet because you feel you should, and B, starting the diet because of pressures from somebody else in your life. Now, when looking at starting a diet because you think you should, this is only going to set you up to hate the diet, to elongate the process, to look at cheating the system. Lots of different things that are only going to contribute to this being a lot harder than it needs to be. When I first started my bodybuilding journey, I felt so hard done by that I was dieting and not being able to have the volume of foods that others were around me, that I needed to train a lot, that I needed to commit, that it was not pleasurable at all, let me tell you. The moment I realised that this is my choice, that I would like to strive for a certain physique, dieting actually became a bit of a pleasure for me, would you believe it? And it's almost trying to breed that sort of mentality to help set you up for success. If you diet because you think you should, it's going to be very, very hard to commit for long periods of time. So the way you can start to turn this around is understand what you want to achieve, why you want to achieve it, and what you're going to get from the diet. If you want to lose weight and you want to look a certain way, then that can feed your motivation to diet in the first place and continue for periods of time. So I'd start to explore reasons why a diet will positively affect your lifestyle. And if B, that reason is because other people are influencing you, say you're trying to set a good example for your children, this can give you added motivation. But if you have the internal motivation there from the start that this journey is for you, it's only going to elevate your experience. If your main priority is to change how you look for yourself and then in turn potentially inspire others, this will lead you on a successful path. If you do look at starting a new diet because you feel that you should be a good role model, then you hit hurdles along the way. It's going to be very hard to keep jumping those hurdles and continuing with your diet. So turn this around. Do this for you. And understand that if you inspire people along the way, this is only a positive thing. If you're dieting to lose weight and for health reasons, you're only going to feel better. You're hopefully going to look at replacing certain foods with more nourishing foods, which is going to give you energy, which is going to help you feel better. And you're going to hopefully be able to look in the mirror and see changes that help you keep going. You're going to see your physique change, your attitude change, and the way you feel about yourself is going to amplify. Okay, so let's look at reason number 3. And that's not understanding the diet you have chosen. This is not only going to cause you problems from the start, but it's going to make the easier parts of a diet so much more complicated. If you choose a diet that you don't understand, you're just going to feel overwhelmed. It's going to leave you scratching your head thinking, what the hell am I meant to be doing here? So before you start your diet, the solution to this would be get to grips with what's required, read up on what sort of food you need to get in, what sort of structure you need to facilitate to be able to start the diet successfully and to continue for longer periods of time if you need to. Look at this objectively. Choose a diet that is going to gear towards you as a person rather than a diet that you've maybe seen on Instagram or your mate down the road does the diet and it really works for them. It may not work for you. So look at a few different options, understand the structure, the guidelines, what's required, and move forward knowing that this diet is suited to you and it's achievable. And this leads very quickly on to reason number 4, and that's choosing a diet that doesn't fit your lifestyle. I've come across countless amounts of people that have started a diet because their mate did it and it doesn't actually fit within their lifestyle at all. And it even comes down to food preference as well. Choosing a diet that is monopolized by foods that you don't actually like, that maybe you're slightly sensitive to, is only going to cause you problems. So the best way to deal with this is to look at a variety of different diets, do a bit of research, and like I said, to give you a solution to reason number 3, not understanding your diet. Number 4, choosing that diet that actually fits your lifestyle rather than one that's just going to leave you with problems from the start. You're trying to squeeze in food prep, you're trying to squeeze in training that maybe isn't realistic for you. If you select a diet that leaves you flustered from the start, you're going to feel completely stressed by it, and that's not the point. If anything, you want to start a diet that's going to be on the easier side to get you started and grow into it. If you're able to commit fully and you've got good amounts of time to commit to your diet, then maybe you can choose a diet that's a little bit more structured, maybe a little bit more intense. And ultimately, this comes down to what you're looking to achieve and the body composition goals that you have. So getting that understanding from the start and choosing a diet that A, you will enjoy, and B, fits for you, is going to help you achieve on the diet rather than feel like you're failing from the word go. Before we move on, I'd like to thank all of the new subscribers that have come in over the last couple of weeks. It's been really awesome to start bringing the amount of subscribers I have up, and know that hopefully the content that I'm providing you guys is beneficial and of interest. What I'd love to see is some comments below with any diets that you've looked at, any advice that you'd like when dieting, maybe some diet fails that you've had yourself. It would be really good to start sharing a few different comments and building a bit of a community via my channel. Now let's look at number 5, which is my favourite of today's episode. And that is your past experiences with dieting holding you back. There's lots of different ways we can look at this and how this might be causing you problems. One is that you've dieted several times and it hasn't worked the way you've wanted it to. B is that you've ended up feeling very negative about dieting because perhaps you've started a diet for some of the reasons we've already spoken about today and you haven't done it for yourself. And also, if past experiences have led you into complications, so mentally you found that you've gone completely the wrong direction and maybe you've gone into the elements of self-restriction or going too far on your diet. It's not always that you start a diet and you fail and you don't commit and you don't get the results you want. Sometimes you get the results you want and you want to keep going, and maybe you're going a bit too far into a diet and you're dieting for too long. So it's getting that balance and understanding that clear goal from the start. Now, what I'd like you to consider doing is, if you've dieted several times in the past and you've struggled with committing to the diet and it hasn't quite gone your way, or you've maybe dieted, started to see results and then fallen off the wagon, is get a pen and paper and write down the reasons why you think you failed at your diet. Be honest. It only needs to be you seeing this list. In order to move forward, if past experiences are going to hold you back, there needs to be a level of honesty and understanding as to why you keep failing at your diet. I promise you, your thoughts matter. And your actions are a reaction to what you're thinking. If you feel negative about a diet, then your actions are going to be negative towards your diet. If you can understand why you failed in the past, what it is that's stopping you, then you're going to be able to move forward with an element of understanding about why this keeps happening. You need to understand yourself, what motivates you, What is going to keep you going in those hard times of a diet? If you're looking to achieve big weight loss goals, you need to think of this as a journey, not a 5-minute relationship with changing your food and your lifestyle. There's going to be days where you can't be bothered, and those days you need to conquer and you need to carry on. We all have little times where we're going to hit bumps in the road, and that's understandable. That's life. If you can start to understand your own personality, your own traits, your own habits, and move forward in a positive direction. So by writing these down and the reasons why you feel you failed at the diet in the past, you can then couple that with some solutions and ways that you can work around the reasons why you have hit those bumps in the road in the past. So you can write down the problems that you faced and how you could solve those problems. And if you do this yourself, the solutions you find are going to be from you internally. So they're solutions that you can actually rationalize with and that you could commit to. And that by far is going to give you much more success than trying to cover over those past reasons why you failed at a diet and just keep trying to plod on through, putting them on the back burner. Oh, that doesn't matter. Trust me, it does matter. It will only hold you back if you keep pursuing those old habits that have held you back in the past. If you've hopefully been able to relate to some of the things I've already mentioned, so points 1 to 4, I've given you some solutions there and some guidance how you can tackle those. And then I also mentioned, is it that the past experiences you've had with dieting has actually led you too far in the wrong direction of potentially looking at self-restricting, cutting out food groups, overtraining, different things that we're going to explore in future episodes. And if that is the case, there needs to be an element of understanding as to why that happened in the first place, and using that trick of writing down why that's happened, or even just trying to understand that by having internal conversations with yourself and looking at ways that we can limit that happening this time around when starting to look at committing to a new diet. This is for you. This is to change your lifestyle, to change your body composition and how you feel about yourself. And I really do hope that understanding a little bit more as to why you failed in the past and how you can move forward in more of a positive way does help you commit to a new diet and get the results that you deserve. I really do hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Remember guys, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to alert you every time I post a new video every Monday.